Hey there, folks. Continuing my project to do videos of all the daily targets from CSS Battle, CSSBattle.dev. And today we're looking at September 22nd, 23rd, a division sign, and 24th, the letter K, sure looks like. Let's get right to it. I'm definitely seeing a pill shaped, right? Like, so a rounded rectangle. So starting with an element here, gonna put yellow as a temp, and then carve out this shape using margins 4, 5, 6, 7. That looks good. 70 on the top, 100, 10, 20, 30, 32 on the sides. Needs to be taller. 150, 160. Let's say 160. Do border radius. There's several ways to do this. I'm seeing to call my shot, at it, as in billiards. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 backgrounds. Is what it looks like. Five background images is what this is, and they're all positioned and sized very specifically. Makes for a lot of code. Pretty sure when I did this before, I used multiple paragraph tags, elements, right? Each a circle, each one bigger or smaller, and then set it in a div with an overflow none. I think that there's obviously with any CSS battle, there's many ways to do it. Today, I'll do it as backgrounds. Okay, so what's that background look like? Well, we need circles. Is it easier to do out or in first, I guess is the question. Let's do, so the biggest one or the smallest one first? Let's do the smallest one first. Radial gradient. And we get a circle. And we want yellow. And I think we need, because we're going to have another layer below it of yellow, we might actually not need that. Maybe this could be transparent. And then red, or whatever this color is, pink, to cover. But if we have to, no, that might be fine. Let's see how we do there. We might need fewer. Yeah, we need a little fewer characters. So I'm gonna put yellow in the distant background. Okay, so that's what we got right now. Not what we want, obviously. But we need some color stops. How about 20 pixels, 0, 30 pixels, 0. That's how we get a circle. All right, let's move it around with background position. So 40 pixels, moves it down a little more. 6. This needs to be bigger, maybe over again. 50, 55, 60. No, this is not right. 40. I think it needs to be bigger. 30 and 40. And then down more. So painstaking work here. That looks right. We'll take it. So that's the top layer. Or this is our first layer. I guess we need a no repeat. Yeah, we need a no repeat. And so we're going to need that each time, probably. Let's make another layer. And it's slightly bigger. So there's that circle. It needs to be bigger. Let's make it 40 and 50. We hope. We move it around. Let's add a no repeat. All right, that's what we got now. Down lower, 50, 60, 50, 55. Okay, there it is. Let's do the next one. We just do that and do that and do that. little bit on the tedious side, but it's hard to argue against the fact that it is working. Let's do 30, 45, 40. All right. All right, and another. Okay, so this one's a little bigger. Let's hope that it continues the. So there. Oh, there it is. That's interesting. We got a problem. We have a very interesting problem, actually. Okay, so if I move this guy around, 2, 3. Well, I want it to align perfectly, right? Is it too low? So 25. So we got a problem. The background is obeying the constraints of the size of the element. So that's what the background is. If I do, even if I turn off no repeat, I get that weird effect. So I need to set that body to be bigger. And I need a minimum 120 pixels. And 120 pixels. And a no repeat. Oh, and actually we don't need 120, we need 140 because that outer edge. Yeah. So that's not in the fun category, let's say. Needs to be down more. 3, 10. There, look, that nailed it. Great. And we got to do that again, don't we? A little bit on the tricky side. Very, very, very repetitive. I mean, I consider that disappointing, but it also is the code that we've chosen here. So I'll increase the size of this. And I'm tuning these background positions. And there, is that it? It might be it. Let's submit. So what have we learned? So background sizes, if you're going to do some larger circle, so yeah, that's 100% match. It's a lot of code. Let's minify and unit replace and see how we look. Then you're going to deal with that, right? That is a thing that you're going to deal with. Even if we do multiple elements that are just, hey, it's a circle, set a width, aspect ratio 1, border 10 pixels. You still have to position them with top and left or translate them, move them around. You're still obliged. Now, there's a certain amount of mathematical calculation going on here, right? So each one is 10 more in terms of size. So there could be a sequence where you could use calc with each successive one, set an initial variable and do it that way. But I'm not going to do that today. But I leave that for you as an exercise to do. All right, let's do the division sign. Let's do the blank template. Let's see how little code we can write here. I'm going to set this guy as like that. And let's push him down. I'm going to, like I do, I'm going to push him down with margins 5, 6, 120, 130. 70, 80, 90, 92, and the height of that is like 30 or 40. All right, there's that. So now I think we're looking at, again, circles. So we're thinking about a radial gradient circle. That is this, maybe 30 pixels, and then brown. 0, and that's how you get a circle. if I set it at 0, 0, and then do 100% width and 50% height, is that it? Oh, no, not quite. So 150 pixels would be the same as that. 140. And then move the the Y position to align it. Yeah, so that's the background position, 0, 10 pixels, and the height of that repeating body is that. So if I do a no repeat, you can see that. So that's the actual background that we created, but we allow it to repeat, and then you get that effect. So let's submit and make sure we're at 100%, and then move on. And there it is. Let's minify, unit replace, and submit again. Our division sign there. And that is telling me CSS Battle servers, checking against the Chromium browser on the back end. It's telling me I got a better score on this one than I got in the past, so that's cool. I'll take a win. And this guy, anytime we rotate things, right, we got potential problems. So I'm going to have no background. I'm going to do border, solid, and then this color. We get a default of 2 pixels. We do a border width. Let's call it 30 pixels, or let's do it, 0, 30 pixels. Zero, 30 pixels, and that's giving, and then I need 30 pixels, and then 0. Or what do I need there? Right, where do I need them? So that ain't right. So I want them completely flopped, don't I? When you rotate the object, aspect ratio 1. There it is. There's that guy. Okay, so let's push them around with margins. 10, 100, 80, 80. There. Let's do 0 there. So I set the margins on the body to be a little bit different. So to be all 4 numbers, right? Top, right, bottom, left, so that I can push the left margin so I can move him over. And we see now that, well, let's add purple to the background, because we're doing the hard part first, which is that angle, the angle of that K. And I think that the size might be right, but the border size is wrong. So let's try 40. 8. 100, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 61, 62, 63. Pretty close. 79. I think what this means is that this is a slightly bigger 102. So I'm just going to keep tuning these numbers. It's just not quite getting it done, is it? Definitely feeling a level of frustration about the sizing there, because I do have, my presumption is that the aspect ratio is 1, but maybe that's wrong. liking this at all. All right. What change would we make to make this work? Let's nuke this whole plan. And in my head, we've got angles to create. What if we do this all with backgrounds? What will it take to get that done? So a linear gradient. So let's start with the top right edge of the K. 135 degrees, I think, is where we'll be coming in from. Or negative 135. There it is. Okay, so let's do 100 pixels and then a color stop. 20, 30, 40, 50, 51, 52. All right, that's part one. So this is how you build a CSS illustration, right? You've got there's part one, part two, for what that's worth. Next, what I find myself wanting to do is to do the easy thin part. Let's do a conic gradient over top of everything, which is going to be transparent for 75% around, and then do this white color. And we need a comma. Okay. So that at is going to be whatever the width of the stem of the K, the initial, so 40 pixels, let's say. And then we move him over. And 35, and then down. I'm going to put purple in the background. Okay, so we're slightly wrong. 134, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's dead on. Okay, so we'll take that as a slight win. Not out of the woods yet. Not by a long shot. All right, now we need to come in from these other angles. We need another linear gradient. Need a few more. How many? I don't have in my head yet. Trailing comma. So okay, so now 60, 70, 80, 90, 202, 201, 202, 203, 21, 100, 0.5, 1, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. Something like that. And we do the same thing again, but with 45 degrees. I think we have the other part. And we have extra that. Oh, look at that. Can you see that? So I hope you can see that little pixel. What that is telling me is that even if I did get that, all right, well, I won't spoil it for you. I'm going to get rid of this right now. So we're going to be revisiting that conic gradient. We got to figure out what we need to do there to do that. So hold your horses. Here we go. All right. Okay. In the meantime, we still need to finish this K. So this is not transparent. I think what we want then is this color. There we go. So now we're filling in 230, 40. Great. And we need to do this again, but with 135 again. So we're revisit 135 again. And we can put purple there, I think, and get that K. We're almost there. 41, 42, 42, 0.5. 41.7. And that looks pretty good. But I can't help but notice this pixel. So what do we need to do? Let's do, instead of the way we did it, let's do it with this color to 25%, transparent from 0 to 75%, and then purple. We're missing a comma, so we don't see anything. There it is. That's what I just made. And the at value for this is like 300. And let's do it. Clearly it's a mess, so we need a no repeat. And so I don't, oh, so let's do this at 0, 0. Okay, what do we need to do? Or, scratch that. How about a linear gradient from at 90 degrees that starts at purple, goes to this white, and then goes to transparent, and then is down. Yeah, so then is 0, 10 pixels, and then has a width of 100%, sure, and then a height of 200 pixels, and doesn't repeat. Yes, a lot of steps. Why, Joe, so many steps? Because I chose a hard way to do it. I'm avoiding dealing with the angles. And so this is the side effects of that. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then so it's 200 pixels tall. Yes, we know that. 136, 156, and then another color stop. So 56, 66. 76. Let's submit that and see if we've got 100%. I'm hopeful that we have 100% match. And we do. So is this great code? It's okay code. I'm going to let it be. I'm going to remove these decimals and see if it's still 100%. I'm not sure it is. We're going to find out right now. No, it is not. Without the decimals, it doesn't work. At least in the way I've done it, right? Would there be other choices? Yeah, maybe. All right, so let's minify and unit replace and get out of here. This is a fun demonstration of building up an illustration with individual gradients, right? This is the kind of thing that great CSS illustrators can do. But it takes time for each one. There are tools, I believe, that can do a little bit of this work, but if you're creating an artistic creation, you're going to be obliged to really care about, is that doing what I want? And you'd also like to do it. There's something to be gained by doing it with less code. And most tools are going to want just add another div, just add another piece. Okay, add another, and so simplicity and conciseness are not values that tools mostly have, right? This is why you look at the output of a page like in Squarespace, like there's a lot of classes and elements and spans and divs upon divs, and yes, they have reasons for that, but that verbosity gives them flexibility for building a tool that allows you to control, but less ends up being very, very powerful, but it takes a lot of work to get to less code, right? Sort of a code golf point. So that's three of them. 22nd, 23rd, 24th of September 2024. We're at the last edge of completeness of all the prior daily targets, which has been a lot of fun for me. But I'm still chugging along. Really enjoy it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Go make a web page. Everyone's got a web browser. It's pretty cool. And take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.